I never thought of Vlad the Impaler as a serial killer, but yeah, that's kind of tracks.
Kinda
Yeah. I mean,
took a few people out.
yeah.
Pretty brutal too, so.
Yeah. One might say he was one of the first notarized serial killers.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, if you're gonna be good at something. Amarillo Rocks, what's up, guys? This week we've got Justin Fennel. I can't do the metal thing like that, like I used to.
Right.
Yeah,
As we get older, it gets a little tougher.
dude. Yeah, I'm not trying to make my prescriptions worse. You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand that.
Yeah, and everybody thinks that you metal guys just talk like that all the time.
Nah, I think so.
How you doing, brother? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Welcome
Thanks for
to
having me on.
RMF. Yeah, dude. So you know, you're a pretty busy dude. You got
Yeah,
a
I
bit
try to
going
stay that
on.
way.
You got a
Yes,
couple
sir.
of bands. Dyscarcia.
Oh yeah.
Quick Death in Texas. You got anything else cooking? You got any other side projects?
Nothing that I can speak of yet or anything.
Ah.
There's a little, maybe an online stuff going on with a, former musician of mine, my buddy Jeremy Thompson.
All right.
So other than that, no, I mean, I don't have any more time.
Oh, well, fucking A.
I mean, it keeps me pretty busy. Dyscarcia keeps me busy. And then with this new little Quick Death in Texas going on, it's full schedule.
Yeah.
Work,
Okay, dude. So one thing that I've talked to with Tom and a couple of other guys is like how crazy the metal scene's gotten in Amarillo. Like
It
y'all
really
have
has.
a crazy scene here. Like Atomic Yellow's bashing out them shows.
We've got a lot of things going. It's been growing, man.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the best things for this area. There wasn't an outlet a couple of years ago. You could play at Zombies, and that's about it.
Yeah.
We've just worked hard at growing the scene. Networking is a big thing, meeting people. And then we've got a great, diverse amount of musicians here. We've got so many different styles, so many different, things in the metal industry that there's a lot of bands that want to come here because you got people that they can play with that are associated with that same type of metal. Plus the scene, with Atomic Yellow, and now we've got Rockwell Event Center and stuff like that. It's really growing, and these are good places to play. So shout out to Tony and Anthony, both guys, and Jarrett over there at Atomic Yellow.
Yeah.
These guys are doing the wonders for us out here.
Hell yeah. I still haven't been to Rockwell yet. Do you have anything coming up there pretty soon?
I believe in December, I think December 2nd, something like that. There's a band called Nest, and a Quick Death in Texas will be opening for them.
Really?
Yeah. They are on Housecore Records, Phil's label or something like that. They played Hoots maybe a year ago.
Oh, far out. Okay.
Krungus, Dyscarcia opened up for him, so Quick Death's going to give it a run after.
Shout out Krungus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Krungus, the boys. Those dudes are killing it.
Those guys are animals.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So who's in a Quick Death in Texas?
A Quick Death in Texas is myself, Caleb Cornelius.
Oh, Caleb.
Zach Roberts. He's the brainchild of most all of it. And then Charlie Ostrom is drumming for us.
Yeah, okay.
Also, we're getting a bassist that's going to start working with us, and his name's Jose. New guy. He's from Borger, I guess, and he plays in Charlie's rock band over there. So
no way.
Starting to try
Jose.
him out. Yeah. Jose.
No way.
Good dude.
Yeah.
Good player, man.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of this project, man. It's really cool. It's coming together quick.
You guys already have videos and stuff out. You can find that stuff on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Quick Death in Texas. TX is the lyrical video, and then we're streaming on all platforms.
Oh, no kidding.
Texas, yeah. Quick. Dinner with Vlad is the song.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna do a little bit of serial killer type themes and people who haven't done the right thing in society. And,
right.
List all those stuffs out and get that going with the Quick Death in Texas.
All right, dude. And then Dyscarcia. Who all's in Dyscarcia?
Dyscarcia, the original member that's working with it now, is Rob Montoya, and then Nate Brown is the other guitarist.
Yeah.
Kirby Norrell is our bassist, and we share him with Odd Rot, which
wow.
dude's got the bottom end just
Yeah.
sewn up, man. He's really good. And then our new drummer is Angel Tejada.
Okay.
He's from Mexico, so he hasn't been here very long.
Oh, no kidding.
Great skins basher, man. He's really made us a better band, gave us better dynamics. So.
Funny story. I sat next to Nate at the Warrant show a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah. Like, just looked at each other and went, really? Pretty funny.
Right.
Cracked me up, but we both knew one of the sound guys, and he got us all in. So that was
That's
cool. Yeah, that was a pretty cool show.
It's good to know people.
Yeah. So how long you been here?
I've been in Amarillo my whole life.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the music scene. I've had friends in the music scene from way back, but I never did any kind of music. To be honest with you, I always tried to do everything I could to not be in the forefront and to not sing.
Yeah, really?
I got out of choir. I didn't want to do any of that in school. I would go to orchestra or band just so I didn't have to get involved. And I didn't want to be in front of the camera. That was one of the things that I really didn't like. And I didn't want to be singing. I didn't feel like I had any kind of skill that would allow me to do that, you know? So,
yeah. Play guitar?
No music.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like I played bass, fiddle in the orchestra whenever I was like 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
I left all that behind, and then band till 8th grade because I had to have a music credit. So, and then after that, it was just I was an athlete, so I played soccer and football, and I didn't do anything but mosh and go get drunk after high school, and I was a great fan.
Football and metal, those two have been pretty good bedfellows for a long time.
I think so.
Yeah.
Contact sport, and then where do you go after that if you don't play in college?
Yeah.
The only contact you're going to get is
in the pit.
Mosh pit.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. They should sell football tackle for mosh pits. That'd be kind of hilarious. Like a bunch of guys in like helmets and shoulder pads.
It'd be interesting. You might be onto something.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Full contact. Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
that's cool, man. How'd you get started doing all this? I mean, like, so you said you weren't always about it.
Right. Well, I was always coming to the shows and supporting my friends, and I'd even started promoting some shows. I've got friends in other bands in different places, Wichita Falls, Dallas, those areas. And so I kind of wanted to get them up here and see what Amarillo was like because the metal scene was, decent. But I was going to go do a benefit show for one of my friends, and I was talking to Nate Brown about lights and sound for it. And this is pre-SLV. Nate was just a buddy of mine, and he had done a show of mine. So when I went to talk to him, he was like, come talk to me on a Tuesday and bring some beer. Okay, I showed up, and he wasn't there yet. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't know Rob at the time, and I knew Jeremy Thompson. And I walk in the room, and Rob's messing around with his guitar, and Jeremy's sitting on his E-kit. And they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm just waiting for Nate to talk to him about a show. And he was like, oh, well, which songs have you been practicing? And he starts handing me lyric sheets. And I was like, I haven't been practicing any songs. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just here to talk to you about like doing a show. Nate's going to do some sound for me, maybe some lights. And he was like, no, Nate said he had a guy coming in for an audition.
You got tricked into auditioning.
Yeah, so we drank some beers and discussed some business and then messed around and, sang some songs and just BS, basically.
Yeah.
And no pressure to me. I didn't think anything about it and never thought that they would ask me back.
Right.
And at the end of the night, they were like, well, you want to come back after you've learned some of the songs and try to work on this? And I was floored, I didn't think that I'd done anything, any kind of special that they'd want me back. So I was like, ooh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste you guys' time. And they're like, well, I don't think we're wasting each other's time. And I was like, okay, well. So that's whenever it became nerve-wracking. Like, do I really want to do this or do I not? Like, if I want to do this, I'm going to go all in, and I've got to give these guys my time and my dedication. If not, that's not right by them. So I made my decision, and I went back the next week, and the rest is pretty much history.
Well, I think it's worked out for you pretty good.
So far it has been. The reason why I even started singing or do anything like that is I was going through some uncomfortable stuff, and I started putting myself in uncomfortable positions so that I could be comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Oh, right.
And karaoke was really kind of where I started kind of venturing out and doing that. And gotten some good reactions. Wasn't doing any metal or anything like that. I'd done some rap and some country, like House of Pain, Jump Around. crowd favorite whenever you're in there, and the kids still kind of know it. I'm going, I don't know much any of the new music, so
Right.
and got some good reactions and had some fun with it. And I was like, well, maybe there's something to this. And when they asked me to audition, I had no I didn't even think that I would be back the next week. So made that decision, and like you said, it's worked out for me so far, and just got me more involved.
Dude, you're a busy guy. I see all the stuff that you're posting, obviously. I mean, like, guys, our matrix here is Facebook. We're not a Twitter city or X or whatever you can call it. But you can find Justin's bands on Facebook.
Absolutely.
You have a website for either one of them?
I don't think we have a website yet. We will quickly with Quick Death in Texas, but yeah, Dyscarcia definitely on Facebook, and I think we've got links for Quick Death, but I'm Cro-Magnon, man, so I'm bad with the computer stuff.
Got a Luddite here.
Yeah.
No, you're doing pretty good. You're talking about the hip hop thing. I think it was you turned me on to a Prof song recently that I hadn't heard, and I like Prof a lot. Like Cam turned me on to him. I was like, oh shit! But I was like, oh, I didn't know he was into that. Yeah. And
I've got a wide variety that I listen to. I'm not even. I wouldn't even call any of my bands death metal, to be honest with you. They're more crossover, kind of mixed genre type things, but I like it all, man. You might catch me listening to some Michael Jackson, have the Thriller album on at the house or something like that, or just lots of different things. I grew up in a household where we listened to music, and so I have 3 younger brothers, and like road trips were tapes. So we each got to pick a tape. There were 6 of us. If we'd go on a 6 like to Dallas or somewhere like that. So it'd be anywhere from like Queensryche to Patsy Cline,
Crazy,
to whatever, Metallica. And we'd each get a tape and we'd listen to the whole tape through. You didn't get to fast forward, rewind, or anything like that. So that was kind of how we did our road trips. And it kind of gave me a broad base, lots of stuff, different stuff to listen to. And I like a lot of it. I try to support all the music here in Amarillo, like even the rock shows, the country shows. I got friends that are in the country scene. I just want to, bolster Amarillo.
We've talked about it, and the same here. I mean, like the whole purpose of this show is just kind of, shine a light on everybody that I can. And I do like how interconnected the scene is here. Yeah. It's crazy how much these shows weave in and out of each other's, their orbits. And we've got killer hip hop scene, we've got a killer metal scene. Obviously, we got a fantastic country scene. Always have. One of the interesting things I've seen was like the Golden Light shows. Golden Light used to pretty much just be country bands. And now, it's mostly alt bands or something, but there's a weird mix that comes through there too.
Got a diverse mix that's coming through there. I mean, you still catch your country songs and your country people that are touring, but then, like you said, you've got different things. Trench Rat's been playing over there. Gardens Grove is one of those that's really that band is a good band that I enjoy too. They play some good songs.
They practice here,
right? Cool. Got a shout out to them. You know, I mean, I enjoy. Like I said, there's a big diverse scene here, and I enjoy the most of it. I mean, there's always something that I'm kind of like, but I think everybody has their tastes and all that, and I'm sure that my band's not everybody's cup of tea as well. So, I understand, and I just appreciate people supporting.
We all kind of do this for the same reason. The outcome may not be exactly the same, but like the purpose for creating music or creating art is just kind of edify your persona, put it into something tangible, to, put yourself out there. And, it's exposing yourself for, you make yourself vulnerable, and sometimes the payoff is validity. Sometimes it's just creating the artwork. But everybody really kind of does do the same thing,
Yeah, I agree. We're all artists in our own sense. And it's, I mean, the different artists and the different genres of art that happen, it's because there's different people that have different creativity, and that's where all this spurs from. And like you said, Amarillo has an amazing music scene going on right now. I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, dude.
It's good stuff, and we got to build for the youth, and that's part of what we're doing too, is trying to get some of these younger kids and younger bands, and, just want to make it better for everybody in the future.
What is some of the music that, like, what's your go-tos? Like your hero musicians, hero bands, roots, that type of stuff. We talked about Clutch earlier.
Absolutely, Clutch is one of the ones,
Yeah.
you know, I've seen them multiple times. I've still got my ticket stuff from when they played, Blue Iguana in '97.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, so that
That's funny that we were both at that show.
yeah, I was young, I had a little less hair on my face, probably a little less hair on my head.
I had more hair on my head, less on my face.
Right, right. But, you know, of course, the thrash scene was a game changer. Like, I was watching Roy Clark on Hee Haw.
Oh, yeah.
And
Buck Owens and Roy Clark?
yeah,
Yeah.
man, and those dudes were screaming, but it wasn't the I knew there was something else out there. You know what I mean? I knew that there were guys out there that were noodling and doing things, but I just didn't know where. There was no internet. You know, so you'd have to go to Hastings as one of the go-to, you know, rest in peace, Hastings. I love that place. But you could go there and read the Kerrang magazines and start learning about the Metallicas and Exoduses and, you know, stuff like that. And that's where my real, you know, love for metal. I mean, yeah, the hair bands and AC/DC and, you know, all the traditional stuff. But
Yeah.
getting
AC/DC
into
was kind of like a gateway band for me.
absolutely
Yeah.
Black Sabbath, you know,
Sabbath,
all
yeah.
the you know, those were
Deep
kind of
Purple.
like I want to find things that are like this, but then watching those, like I said, the Roy Clark especially, watching him play and with the speed and things that he did, I was like, there's got to be somebody that's plugging in that's playing a little down tune or something there that, you know, will pique my interest a little bit more than this, and started to find it, and it was started, you know, just broadening from their Slayer, you know, going stuff like that. I really like that. So
I remember Slayer was still pretty new, and I mean, I'm talking 4th grade, 5th grade for me.
Sure.
You know, that was
Yeah.
84. I'm old, you know, so
Taboo.
yeah, and like
Scary back
it
then.
was scary, and I was like, well, I like this, you know, like I wasn't like didn't have a great religious upbringing, like it really didn't glean me any direction religiously. I just liked the music was just it was like a horror movie coming through the speakers, and I loved it, and you know that's just kind of what steered my direction, you know, like from a little kid, and
Right.
you're probably a lot like me, you know.
Yeah,
What side of town did you grow up on?
grew up right over in AC, south side, you know, right by Memorial Park.
Oh,
I live
gotcha.
right across the street from there now, right
Oh,
by
yeah.
FM90.
Yeah.
I moved back in there whenever I got a divorce. So I like that neighborhood, and you know, I want to stay there. I raised my son there over there. He graduated from Tascosa too. So
Oh, right on.
second generation.
Yeah.
So
So you went to Tascosa when you
Yep.
graduated?
graduated '96.
Oh, dude. Okay, I graduated there in '92, so
Right.
yeah.
Not too far behind you.
I must have just been going out and you know, you
Yeah.
were coming in the next year. Crazy.
Yeah.
Far out. Looking back, on, what do you think is your, probably your biggest accomplishment with your music career so far? So far?
So far, man, that's a tough one.
You played a lot of big shows. I mean, you know, you guys have done
We've started, you know, we hold our own, you know. I mean, I know we have our limitations, but I would say making it on Bearfest, you know, that's a pretty big show here
Yeah.
in Amarillo, and then being a continuing
Yeah.
act that gets to perform on that has been one of the bigger things that I really, you know, enjoyed. Shout out to Alex and the guys that Bear the Mark. I really appreciate what they do for the community.
coming for you, Alex.
Oh, absolutely. I saw him last night. He was a good dude. He shows
Yeah.
up to all he's another supporter that's
Yeah.
out there, you know, beating the pavement, trying to show up to every show he can. And you know, I really appreciate that. So, you know, and opening for some of the bands that we've gotten to open for, you know, I never like watching some of these bands. I thought, you know, as a kid, I was just glad to get to buy a ticket to go see them. And they're backstage with some of the guys that you watched. You know, there was a show we played, Gamma Side, we opened for, and just seeing heroes, you know, like, wow, those dudes were thrashing in the 80s, you know, 90s and stuff. And I just thought I'd get to hear them, not ever get to meet them.
I'm embarrassed that I never heard Gamma Side. Like that was one that I was never exposed to. And John from Rockwell was texting me that. I was like, "Why are you not at this show?" I'm like, "What show?" You know, I didn't know. And then I was like, "Well, fuck, you know, it's too late. I'm not gonna go out there." So and I looked him up, like, "Oh shit, this guy's badass," you know.
Very
I've never
yes.
never heard him before, you know.
Right. Yeah. You know, it was kind of weird the way you found out about music around here, and yeah, like a lot of the Texas stuff we didn't get to hear about and things. You know, it was more East Coast or West Coast,
Right.
is what, you know. And I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't know more about the Texas metal that I did. Yeah, those guys. I found about them early on, and man, dude, I was just in awe, really whenever somebody even asked us to be a part of that. And this has all been kind of surreal to me anyway, to even to be asked to be a part of a band. I never had any expectation, and I guess that's good because I don't have any letdown.
Right.
Everything to me is a step up. So, playing next year's Bear Fest is going to be just as much, if not important, more important next year than it was this year. That's what I look at it as. It's just, something. It's a great release. It's a way to give back to the community because I don't have a lot to give back. So, give the kids a place to go. And, like I do work at the venues and things like that. I mean, I'll do whatever it takes to try and keep this running.
Dude, the all ages venues, I think, has been kind of a big game changer for the scene here.
Yep.
And thinking back on, like I've been pretty dedicated to the bar scene for a long time, just because that's where you could play.
Yeah.
And I mean, music consumers, especially progressive music, like that's consumed by a lot of kids. I mean, like and guys our age, like there's there's a weird, like there's almost like a gap in there, but it makes a lot of sense to have, to get yourself out there in front of a younger audience and, really pump it out there,
Well, yeah, that's what we're trying to do is let these kids know that there is outlets out there and there is ways that you can get on stage and perform art that doesn't have to necessarily be on a canvas or anything like that. If you feel like you're musically inclined, come out and see some of these shows, especially at the all ages, and talk to the musicians out there, and find out what it takes because it's not easy to put a product on the stage. And I know
it is not.
People just think you get up there and you can play that guitar and do everything because you're good at it, but it just comes together easy. And getting 5, 6 people together to practice is a hard thing.
It's like herding cats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
no offense.
yeah, she loves that.
Would you is Dyscarcia like that's your first band?
That's absolutely my first band.
Are you shitting me?
No, sir.
That's bananas, dude.
Absolutely.
Because we did Bear Fest with you a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought you were just some guy that's been doing this forever, and I had just somehow hadn't met yet. I've met most of these guys around here, and I was like, "How the fuck is this guy doing?" And that's pretty incredible, dude. That's pretty incredible.
It was a huge learning curve. Like I said, I'd never done anything, not even in jest. I mean, I made a joke about it, maybe once or twice. Like Corpse Grinder, that guy has his niche clicked out, and I was just like, if I was going to be a death metal guy, I'd like to be something like that. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be doing any kind of extreme metal or anything like that. So that's why I said I had no expectations coming into it because I really wasn't even whenever I went and did the audition, it wasn't an audition to me. It was more like just having fun with my buddies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I've kept it. It's just having fun with my buddies.
Yeah.
And I want to practice and I want to better myself. I want to get better at my craft because the crowd deserves that. And I want to give to the people
absolutely
as they give to me.
Yeah, man.
But
you give what you get back,
Yeah. And when you
vice
put
versa.
your heart into it, you do get, back. The crowd seems to show up. They seem to, you get interaction from them too. And that's one of the things that I incorporate in my style of being a musician is I've seen a lot of what people do and what a lot that I liked. And I try to incorporate that whenever I saw something like on stage that I was like, oh, I like what that guy did. I try to incorporate those things, and it just works out that way.
Look, I shamelessly steal from all my heroes. Right. I don't care. By the way, guys, for those that don't know, George Corpse Grinder Fisher is the singer for Cannibal Corpse. And if you don't know who Cannibal Corpse is, watch the first Ace Ventura movie. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good reference.
That is a weird reference. Yeah, man, I feel exactly the same way. I've done this. Fuck's sake, I don't know. I've said my first band was like in 87, 88.
Wow.
A long time ago, played at the old Bangers and West One and all those places over there, and the War Legion and the Rec Room and Durango and all those places.
Yeah. All shows and stuff like that.
And then off and on,
Leftwood.
Have you guys done any road shows?
We played Lubbock once with Dyscarcia. We wanted to do more of that. We're moving towards more of that. We're writing new material, getting new songs ready, and going to get some stuff out on the streaming platforms and things too for Dyscarcia. So, but
does it get easier the more you do it, or are you
in terms of like what do you mean? Like,
well, I mean, like the coalescing, writing, creating, putting out a product. Like everyone's kind of simpatico, where everyone understands what the other person's going to do. Now it kind of knows how you're going to play, you know how you're going to sing.
Yeah, it does. I think that was one of the biggest learning curves for me. I wasn't a writer either. So to come in and have to start writing songs and stuff like that, it was like, ooh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Um, so my style and what I've done is I usually have to have some drums and a guitar, and I have to have pretty much a skeletal version. It doesn't have to be, a done song, but I have to have a skeletal version to kind of meter on what the lyrics are going to be in my head. Now at this point right now, we only play one Dyscarcia song that I've actually written the lyrics to.
Mhm.
The other ones that we play are either we cover Brujerismo, and then the rest of them are previous lyricist vocalists that wrote the song.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So with the Quick Death in Texas, it's been all me writing the lyrics and stuff like that, and it has been a learning curve. Like I said, I've never done that.
Yeah.
So whenever you get in a band and they're like, all right, now you're gonna write the lyrics, it's like, okay, I'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Then, won't I?
So you guys write the music first and then the lyrics,
Yeah,
or vice versa? Okay.
that's what we do. And I usually sit in on the process and I try to get you make vowel sounds, guttural noises, like you just kind of get a pattern.
Yeah.
And maybe throw in a word or two here or there, or stuff like that. But once you establish that pattern, then you can start writing the lyrics off of that. So it seems like it has gotten easier for me, but it's still a tough task,
In QDTX, what would you say most of your I mean, do you have like common subject matter, or are you
It's gonna be serial killer.
serial killer
So,
stuff?
like, the first one's gonna be about our main the one that we put out so far is Vlad the Impaler,
Yeah.
and it's a dinner with Vlad.
Dinner with Vlad, yeah.
The next one, the song that we wrote is about H.H. Holmes and the murder house. So, there's gonna be some songs about psychosis and, just kind of the darker side of serial killers and bringing some of that.
I never thought of Vlad the Impaler as a serial killer, but yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
tracks.
Kinda
Yeah. I mean,
took a few people out.
yeah.
Pretty brutal too, so
One might say he was one of the first notarized serial killers.
absolutely.
I mean, if you're gonna be good at something,
You might as well, yeah.
yeah. Uh, on a side note, have you noticed that like some of the quietest women you've ever met in your life are all like huge like serial killer fans? My wife. Yeah, I can't come, home and she's like watching some god awful shit on TV. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, no, some of it's
I want to go play with the kitties outside, something, pick
Right.
flowers, What's your next move?
Well, right now we're gonna play a couple shows, like I said, with the Quick Death in Texas. It's gonna be actually our first show. Me and Paco put on a Kill the Summer barbecue a while
I
back,
saw that, yeah.
and that was just a community building thing that we had talked about. And
What was the turnout like on that? Pretty good turnout?
I want to say that we fed 150 people.
Oh, fuck me.
that day. Some of the people came from the volleyball courts, some of them came from the tennis courts.
Right.
There were kids that were playing and asked for a plate. We fed as many people as we could. We got donations of food. Everybody pretty much brought something and pitched in. So it was really a
Yeah.
successful event. And we're going to continue with that. And what we're going to do with that is what we want to do is we want to make it a platform to I know you had Jeremy on here a while back,
Mhm.
Jeremy Daugherty, and they have a new Stone the Sun.
Yeah, Stone the Sun they played that
Yeah,
thing, didn't
so
they? Yeah.
we promoted that. They hadn't played a show yet, and so we want bands that hadn't played a show, maybe, some of the younger kids to have a platform like,
Yeah.
you step on a stage at a horror Halloween and you get, 200 people at the show, and you've never been on stage. It's kind of an eye-opening
Yeah.
event. So we want to give back to the community and give an outlet once a year to up and coming musicians and stuff like that, and try to get new bands on and get kids that want to jam and maybe not know how to get onto a show, or don't know somebody that owns a venue or whatever, an opportunity to come play their music for the public. And we're also gonna, we had a wrestling deal where Hobo Man and Gregory Lynn came in and did a park brawl. And we're also going to start working with some of those guys and get some of their younger wrestlers too, and try to promote that also.
Oh, word, yeah.
And just kind of do it kind of inclusive and bring them in and give them a platform also. We want it to be community building, so we want more people next year. We want more donations, and we want to just do it bigger and better like we did this year.
Are you gonna do a Dyscarcia Christmas show?
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
We've talked about some Christmas songs. We'd be good. We're old men and
Chris Marcia. Can I just pitch Chris Marcia out there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we've thought about. There's a lot of opportunity in this town, so we'll just see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
Talk to the guys and see what they say.
Conquer your hometown, man.
Yeah.
So when you're not, so let's put all this aside. I mean, like, what do you do when you're not fucking with music?
Well, I'm an electrician by trade. I do that. I mean, I've just gotten a job for the school district, so I'm doing some electrical maintenance. I've got 4 dogs. I've got a rescue dog that I'm trying to get rid of. If anybody wants a little sweet little pitty blue, I've got one of those.
Send me a picture of her. We'll put it on here.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah.
But that consumes a lot of my time. Practicing. I started off as terrible, and I've maybe got to a mid-grade level vocalist. And it's extreme.
Pretty good.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, and I also have expectations of myself that may be a little elated and maybe a little inflated, but you've got to have expectations to drive yourself too.
Yeah.
So, I've got a speaker at home, and I practice whenever I don't have.
You should be like a death metal motivational speaker.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of like you're pretty positive. Like this. Like we haven't really ever hung out together.
Right.
Like except for that Bear Fest a couple years ago. I don't think I've seen you in person since then. Maybe at a show or two.
In passing, maybe,
passing, but that's kind of crazy. Artwork. I did have a question about that. Who does y'all's artwork?
I think Rob does some of the artwork for Dyscarcia. I don't necessarily know all of that. Most of it was existing whenever I got in the band.
Oh, gotcha.
So, we did have a contest and had fan art drawn, and we chose the winner as a 14-year-old young man.
No kidding.
It's something from Canadian. I can't remember. I'm sorry if you're watching, but so it's for the song that I wrote, When the Shit Hits the Fan, and it's fan art, and it's a Dyscarcia with an old rusty looking fan on it, and we got him a shirt and got him a signed poster and everything for it. So that was a neat little deal that we did.
A freaking great idea.
But man, I think with all of that, I think that the main goal is just to keep working. It keeps me motivated, keeps me sharp. So that's what I'm going to keep doing.
You into like comics or anything when you were a kid? Or
no, I was outside most of the time. My mom made us lock the door behind us, and when the street light came on, you better be home.
Yeah,
so
same.
My brothers were into that. They, I've never owned a computer. The phone is the most technologically advanced thing that I've ever owned.
Yeah.
I've never owned a game, never owned a console. All my brothers had them, but I never owned one.
It wasn't your thing.
Yeah, and they got them for Christmas, and I was more like, give me a bike, football, and I was outside. I want a pocket knife. I want to, stuff like that. So, I always wanted to be outside and do adventurous things, and it just wasn't something that I even
stuff that involved
thought about, what I mean?
Stuff that involved drinking from the hose.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in A Quick Death in Texas, Caleb Cornelius has some pretty good skills with the computer.
Yeah.
And he's the one that's done our recordings and our videos and our artwork and stuff like that. And he goes wild sometimes and gets in there, and he's like the Mad Hatter just going at it. And
he's a good music editor. He's I've heard Caleb's stuff, and like some of the stuff he was doing out of the gate a few years ago was he had it on SoundCloud. I'm like, he was just doing this with like a little 2 interface, like a Scarlett or something like that. Like a simple interface. He's recording this stuff, on a little micro studio at home. I'm like, how the fuck's this kid figuring out all this stuff? Like I've got all this crap and I don't know how any of it works.
Right. So, sharp, man. And these kids with these computers these days, it really does blow my mind of how good they are with it and how quickly that they can.
You just said these kids with these computers.
Pushing 50, so
yeah.
and kids are 30 to me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I've got enough gray in my beard. I could say these kids, I think.
Yeah, it's same, man. There's a little sugar in the cinnamon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
A little bit more than
a little salt and pepper, a little sugar in the cinnamon.
Yeah, it comes with the wisdom.
You young whippersnapper don't know what you got. I tell you what, back in my day, we plugged into a tube amp, and we had a tape recorder that we'd put across the room because the amp was too fucking loud, and it sounded like garbage, and we loved it.
Loved it. It gave it ambiance.
I still got that jam box up there in the corner. That's long story there, but yeah, that's what I learned to record on.
Cool.
When 80 something.
Right.
Fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
and I'm all new to all of that. I've never recorded anything. Like, I might have had a Fisher Price something or other whenever I was recording stuff like fart jokes maybe, but I never recorded anything.
Fart jokes are the best.
They are, especially whenever you got younger brothers and you're getting them in trouble because they keep laughing. Just keep playing fart jokes.
So it's like the whole 6'7" thing now. It's like this whole joke that guys our age aren't supposed to understand, and if we try to understand it, it's cringy.
Yeah, I don't get some of that. I'm out in left field when they say stuff, and I don't even know 'em, yeah, I don't watch TV, and I don't watch much mainstream stuff. Son's moved out for a year, so I don't have like, I'm starting to distance myself on these sayings and new verbiage and all that. It's like, what are they talking about? Cap? Yeah, I wore a cap today, like
Wear one all the time, yeah.
yeah, no cap.
No cap. Oh, yeah, no hat. Sorry, we're indoors, yeah.
Yeah, yes, that used to be the thing. You couldn't wear a cap indoors.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, I don't know. Keeping up with that lingo and stuff like that's interesting.
It's always been just a shifting grade of etymology. The lexicon's always gonna change. What they say in Idiocracy, it was a weird mix of, uh, street slang and Valley Girl.
Right.
That's what we're basically there now.
Oh, it's close because I don't understand some of it, but
Yeah.
teaches their own.
How many local shows do you think you've done over, like, the last 3 years? Because every time it seems like every time I turn around,
Quite a bit.
keep track of them. You have, like, you keep track of posters and all that other stuff, or
I really don't. I've got some on my phone. I'm sure I've got because I have to be the one usually sending out the artwork and doing all the promotion and stuff like that. I do a lot of that stuff for Dyscarcia, so I probably got them on my phone. But I would say in the last 5 years, I've probably done getting close to probably 35, 40 shows. I mean, it's been
damn,
quite a
dude.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they threw me to the wolves at first, and it's just been 10 shows plus a year, basically. We were playing, a couple of shows at House Bar a while back and just wherever we could.
House Bar. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a couple of those over there. I think we played with Horde Demise. Shout out the homies in Horde Demise, Corrosive Wrath.
Yeah.
I think shout out Paco and all those guys. And I think Krungus even played one with us.
I've had Corrosive Wrath.
I think we even played a show with Honey Badger.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I tell you what, man, we're a lot more, we're a lot smaller community than you think sometimes. Middle ground's pretty wide place there.
And it's kind of a neat place because everybody kind of still intermingles and still kind of knows one another, and it's kind of diverse, but then it's still kind of close knit, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, word.
I think the community's good around here. I think there's a lot of good things that can come from this place too.
I agree. Like we were saying, the scene, especially the metal scene, has exploded. Pampa's got a bonkers freaking rock scene up there.
Saw a couple of Pampa bands yesterday, and it was good stuff.
I think there's like there's one place in Dumas people play. That's one thing I never hear about is Dumas. Yeah, like I guess those guys just come here or something. I don't know. They used to be like
so. I think they've got a brewery up there, something called the Toppled Turtle.
Yeah, Toppled Turtle. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but and I know that there's a bunch of musicians up there and things like that, but I think they just kind of come down here.
Who's on
Jeremy does.
That I never hear about Odd Rot playing up there. Of those Pampa bands, let's see. Yesterday they had Handshakes and they had Ghost of Great County.
Ghost of Great County and Stealing Handshakes.
Yeah.
And what's there's another one.
Special Case. Oh, they were on that too?
Yes,
okay.
Sir. Yes,
Shout out Special Case.
Yes, sir.
Handshakes, my boys, and Ghost of Great County. We had Grant Fythen on not too long ago.
Cool.
And man, that kid's sharp. He's like on top of stuff. Like
on a show.
And that's cool to see.
Too, yeah.
That is so good for the community. Man, that kid he knows how to promote too. Like, he got on I guess he uses Meta or Business Suite or some tool that I never use, and spiked the views just by the way he promoted them. How the fuck do you do that,
Yeah. We can learn from for sure.
It's cool that, there's a whole new wave of folks, younger guys that are pushing rock and roll, pushing metal, and keeping things alive, keeping things going.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I know that I've got more sunsets behind me than I do ahead of me, but of the ones I got left, I look forward to, seeing what what comes out of, the
Sure.
town. And
Yeah, I think there's a big, bright future for this city. Like
yeah,
I said, there's a lot of talent and a lot of diversity in this town. So I think that the sky's the limit. Keep working at it.
that
It's
AJ
gonna
Swope
grow.
Plaza. So AJ was a friend of mine,
Okay.
and that like I love that something came together in his honor. It
Absolutely.
was a real just tragic, awful, god awful way that he had passed.
Yes.
And for such a good dude, and, he was up and coming, budding, bright,
Yes, he
country
was.
singer. He kind of got started with Skits and I doing open mics at the 806.
Okay.
And just to see the evolution of all that stuff. When you've been in the same scene for a long time, you really, really like watching a tree grow.
It is. It really is.
And sometimes you have those seasons where your tree's got elm beetles. Well, and you treat it, and hopefully it'll bud better next year. But I don't know, man. It's now it's an evergreen. And it's just
I think
going all
so.
year long.
I think so, and I think that's part of the people that are behind the scenes in the metal scene
Mhm.
and just in the community in general. I like Amarillo. I always wanted to get out as a youngster because I thought there was more to offer
Yeah,
anywhere else,
same.
and it seems like all my friends that got out came back. And you can call it a vortex, a black hole, whatever you want, but the community is still better than a lot.
We call it the yellow hole.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's also a lot worse
Yeah.
out there too.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Like
I'm
Lubbock.
proud to be. Yeah, Ugh, love suck. Sorry.
We're just kidding. We love you, Lubbock.
No, I love the there's
We got we got a
homies
lot
down
of
there in the metal scene. They've got a pretty budding metal scene down
yeah.
there too. So, and that's one thing that I
Mhm.
like. Also, they it didn't. It seemed like we wouldn't like interface or work with Lubbock a long time ago, and that like if they were getting shows, we weren't getting anything,
Yeah.
and vice versa, and all that. And there was kind of like a rivalry, I guess.
Yeah.
And now it seems to be more blending and
Yeah.
our bands are going down there and playing, their bands are coming up here and playing, and,
Word.
that's a good thing too because we're all we have up here, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In this little region that we're just singled out in the middle, in the heart of America, with really nothing around us, Dallas 6 hours, Denver 8 hours, Oklahoma City and Albuquerque 4 hours away.
Yeah.
We're really like the only thing in the desert, basically, is the way I like to look at it. And
Yeah.
if we don't keep this tight community, we won't have anything. So, and I really enjoy seeing how it's grown in the last couple of years. Just like
Yeah.
you said, that it's the sky's the limit. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. It's good.
And I'm sure you've been to Jake's.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
lots of times.
Probably one of my favorite venues to play is Jake's. Jake's is just bonkers. There's just
Yes,
those crowds show out on a freaking Thursday night even,
Yes, sir.
like, we did a show with The Sword, like, 10 years ago, and I mean, it was just wall to wall in there, and it's just crazy, crazy crowd, and, I've done, like, Toadies, played with those guys there, and,
love those guys. Those are great bands.
yeah,
The Sword's awesome too.
yeah,
All shut.
yeah, and he's a reverend guy too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
that's cool.
shout out Reverend.
Yeah,
I need I need my sponsorship back, please.
right.
Uh, cool. Oh, man, I'm super stoked that you, took a little time out and did this with me.
I'm honored to come
You
on
know?
here, man. I've been
Yeah.
watching your podcast and I've seen a bunch of
It
great people on
big
this
supporter of the
place.
show, and I love that, and
Yeah,
thank you for
I
that.
try to, I'm just a supporter of Amarillo and the people,
Yeah.
and this is part of that, and you're part of that. When I see something, I can't always make it out to every show.
Yeah, me too.
But I do try to promote that, and I try to share. And I've got a group of friends that not all of them are death metal heads, and all that. And so I try to give them a little bit of more diversity too.
Yeah.
And if we had more people doing that, and had more people like really dedicated to helping the music scene out here, it would grow exponentially.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to be. I try to be a positive leader. I try to lead by example instead of, I'm not going to try and tell people what to do or anything like that. I just try to be a good steward for what's going on in the music scene.
That's all you can ask, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week. We're gonna have links to all of Mr. Fennel's projects: Quick Death of Texas, Dyscarcia, and Captain Howdy's Flower Power. It's the one that he couldn't talk about.
Yeah,
Just
we
kidding.
won't talk about that
Yeah,
yet.
no.
We'll show y'all soon.
Yeah. Links in description. Guys, thanks so much for continuing to support the show. Please like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Get in the comments. That helps the algorithm out a lot. We appreciate everyone that's been on the show and supports the show. So Amarillo rocks, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.